Oh, hey Mock, hey Bean. Do you guys want to come help me teach the fourth graders language arts today? Hello? Do you want to come help me? Oh, okay. Bingsu, are you alive? Bing? Oh, maybe I should poke her. Oh, good. You are alive. I was worried. Do you guys want to come help me? Maybe not. I'm not sure how much help you'd be. You don't even speak English. All right. Can you guys believe how lazy my cats are? They wouldn't even wake up and come over here and come help with the lesson. Actually, you can still see Bing behind me and Muck. They're so lazy these days. They don't want to do anything. Do you guys feel the same way? There's no school you have to come to. Maybe it's easy just to sit around and watch TV. I hope you're getting some exercise. And even though we're not together at school right now, I still want you to do your best. So let's sit up straight in our chairs. You can get something to drink if you want to. And let's start our lesson. Do your best. Okay. All you need for today's lesson is a pencil, or you also can get a highlighter if you want one, an LA writing notebook, and your workshop. Now, for today's lesson, we're going to talk about how do your actions affect others? Oh, such a good question. We're going to be talking about this question all week. We're also going to learn about genre. We're going to listen to reading. I'm going to read you a story. Then we're going to go over problem and solution and our homework. So let's get started. Okay, first things first, this question. How do you actions? It's supposed to say your. Pretend that it says your. I was typing too fast. How do your actions affect others? Now, let's talk about one of your vocabulary words. If you want to, you can open your workshop to page 34 and 35, and these are our new vocabulary words for the week. Now, I think the most important word is self-esteem. Now, self-esteem is having confidence and respect for yourself, for oneself. Now, when you guys come back to school, our first character lesson is going to be all about respect. And it starts with respecting yourself, your own body, and your thoughts and your actions. You have to start respecting yourself. And that means self-esteem. So we're going to start learning about this week. And hopefully when you guys come back to school, we'll continue learning about self-esteem and respect. So think about self-esteem and think about this question. How do your actions affect other people? Okay. Now, our genre for this week is realistic fiction. And I know most of you who were in my class last year, you should know what this is. Was our story last week realistic fiction? No. There was a talking dragon. There was all kinds of fantasy and fairy tale things. It wasn't realistic at all. Now, the story that we're about to read is a fiction story. It's not a true story. And we can tell because she's a cartoon character. She's not even a real character. If it was a picture of a real person, it might be a real story. But this isn't a real story. It's realistic fiction, a story with made-up characters that's set in the real world. Okay, please open your workshop to page 36 and 37, and I'm going to read you the story today. Now, if you would rather read quietly to yourself, that's fine. You don't have to listen to my reading. You can fast forward. But if you would like to listen to me read you a story, then you can listen now. The Talent Show. Tina, there's a school talent show in 3 weeks, I shouted to my best friend. My older brother had been teaching me juggling, and I knew he'd help me with my act for the show. Tina ran over to the bulletin board and read the poster. Mara, what's our act going to be? Tina asked me. Our act? I said, taking a tighter grip on my books. Tina grinned, pointing to the poster and said, "It says acts can be individuals, partners, or small groups." My grip on my books became uncomfortably tight. "You want to do an act together?" "It'll be fun," Tina said. I hesitated for a second before continuing. "I've got an idea, and—" Tina interrupted me. "Yeah, me too. Let's talk at lunch." During math, I tried to think of how I would tell Tina that I wanted to do my own act. After all, we were best friends. We should be able to see eye to eye about this. The problem is, Tina always takes charge. I don't speak up, and then I end up feeling resentful about the whole situation. I desperately wanted to win, but it was more than that. I wanted to win on my own with an act that was all mine. Okay, turn the page. At lunch, Tina started talking as soon as we sat down. "I have it all planned out. My inspiration came from that new TV show, You've Got Talent. We can sing along to a song and do a dance routine, and my mother can make us costumes." "Yeah, that's a good idea," I said, "but I had another idea." And I told her about my juggling act. Tina considered it. "Nah, I don't think I can learn to juggle in 3 weeks, and I'll probably drop the balls," she said. "We don't want to be humiliated, right?" At recess, I ran around the track a couple times just to let off steam. When my grandmother picked me up after school, she drove a few minutes and finally said, "Cat got your tongue?" I explained about the talent show as she listened carefully. "So, Tina is not being respectful of your ideas, but it sounds as if you aren't either." "What?" I shouted. "I told Tina her idea was good." "No," said my grandmother. "I said that you weren't being respectful of your own ideas, or you wouldn't have spoken up. I understand that you're friends, but you're still accountable for your own actions." I thought about this. "So, what should I do?" I asked. "I advise you to tell the truth," she said. "It wouldn't hurt to let Tina know what you want. Besides," my grandmother added, "it'll be good for your self-esteem." When we got home, I took 12 deep breaths, called Tina, and told her that I was going to do my own juggling act. She was curt on the phone, and I spent all night worrying she would be mad at me. The next day, she described her act and her costume, but the biggest surprise came at recess when we played a game that I chose, not Tina. I guess standing up for myself did pay off. Okay, that's an interesting story. So you may have noticed a couple times in the story, there was things that the characters said that were a little strange. Like when she ran around the track a couple times just to let off steam. Or when the grandma said, "Cat got your tongue?" We're going to learn what these are called later in the week, but if you don't understand what those are, you can look them up online, but they're called idioms, and we'll go into those later. It's okay if you don't understand them right now. Okay, so that was a very interesting story about Mara and Tina and self-esteem. Now, let's talk about this question that's going to be your homework today. Tell about a time when someone wouldn't listen to your ideas. What did you do? So in our story, Tina wasn't a very good listener. She had some good ideas of her own, but she wasn't listening to what Mara wanted to do. And she thought since they were best friends that Mara would just have to do everything Tina said. Has that ever happened to you? Or have you ever been kind of like Tina? So think about this. This is going to be a homework question. Now, please turn the page and go to page 41. Problem and solution. Now, what I would like you to do is open your LA writing notebook and copy down everything you see on the slide here. So as you can see, problem and solution, I have today's date, and then I started copying it down in my LA writing notebook. Please pause your video, copy this down now, and you can highlight the same things I did if you want to. Okay, now that you've finished copying it down, turn your page over, and I want you to copy what you see here on your computer or your tablet screen. Now, as you can see, it's also on page 41 in your book. We've got character and setting, problem, which you should have written down this slide right here, that the main character in a story usually has a problem that needs to be solved. And the steps that these characters take to solve the problem make up the story's events, the plot of the story. So, we're going to talk about the problem. Then there's two events and the solution. Now, as you can see in your book, character, setting, problem, and the first event are all written for you. You can just copy those down now. But the last event and the solution, I want you to figure out by yourself. So use your story to help you and complete this graphic organizer in your LA Writing Notebook now. Okay, so you should have finished copying everything into your LA Writing Notebook and then writing down your own opinion for the last event and the solution. Your homework for today, I'm going to go make a dojo portfolio assignment right now, and you are going to answer the question, tell about a time when someone wouldn't listen to your ideas. Now, I'm going to make it a photo assignment. That way you can write instead of type, because I think this answer might be kind of long and typing sort of hard. So, as you are writing this answer in your LA Writing Notebook, please make sure you have neat handwriting. Make sure that your spelling is correct, that you have punctuation, that you use the right kind of capitalization. And please, when you take the picture, take a picture that I can read clearly. Okay? So, this is your only homework for today. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed me reading to you. I thought it was a really interesting story. And as always, I love you, your teachers love you, and everything's going to be okay. Make sure to wash your hands, and I will see you tomorrow for our Tuesday LA lesson. Okay, bye.